President Richard Nixon declared a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy by announcing that America would henceforth expect its Asian allies to take primary responsibility for their own military defense. This policy, later known as the Nixon Doctrine, signaled his intention to begin the process of Vietnamizing the Vietnam War. When Nixon assumed office in early 1969, the U.S. had already been involved in the Vietnam War for nearly 4 years. More than 25,000 American soldiers had died, alongside an uncounted number of Vietnamese civilians and combatants. Despite the prolonged conflict and massive military effort, victory remained elusive. Meanwhile, anti-war sentiment continued to surge across the United States, particularly on college campuses and in major cities. Nixon had campaigned in 1968 on the promise of achieving peace with honor in Vietnam, and by July 1969, a key component of that promise became clear. During a stopover in Guam while on an international tour, Nixon issued a statement outlining a new approach to U.S. involvement in Asia. He emphasized two key points for America's allies in the region. First, he reassured them that the United States would honor all its treaty obligations. However, he also made it clear that, apart from threats involving nuclear powers, the U.S. would no longer take the lead in military defense. Instead, the U.S. would encourage and has a right to expect that Asian nations take greater responsibility for their own defense. Nixon expressed confidence in this approach, stating that discussions with several Asian leaders had shown they were ready to step up to this role. The Nixon Doctrine formally outlined the president's strategy of gradually withdrawing U.S. forces from Vietnam and transferring combat responsibilities to the South Vietnamese military. Throughout his first term, Nixon steadily reduced American troop levels in Southeast Asia. In 1973, the U.S. and North Vietnam signed a peace agreement that officially ended American involvement in the war. However, 2 years later, North Vietnamese forces overwhelmed the South, unifying the country under communist rule.